A short presentation for you, and be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So the purpose of the Northville Heights Area Structure Plan is to provide the long-range plan for the community to work collaboratively with the other agencies and organizations and to conform with the town's Strathmore bylaws and regulations and create a roadmap for the phased development of the community. The area structure plan was prepared at the request of the town. All the requirements for ASTs have been met. We did hold an open house in February. These are annexed lands and as such still designated agriculture general under Wheatland County Land Use Bylaw, and the area structure plan meets the principles of the Quality of Life Master Plan, the Wetland Conservation Plan, and the Community Sustainability Plan. The lands are located in the north of the town, the Wheatland Trail, Lakewood Meadows, and Northville Heights. The overall goal for Northville Heights is to create a community that is comprehensively planned, that is a residential enclave that will provide for a walkable, healthy, and attractive area of the town of Strathmore. The objectives include to comply with the town bylaw and regulations, to provide a variety of housing types, to create a unique living environment, a walkable community that will provide alternatives to personal vehicle use, and to create links to other communities within the town of Strathmore. The vision for Northville Heights is as a desirable residential community integral to the other communities in the town and linked by paths and walkways incorporating local commercial retail uses and integrating amenities and functional infrastructure. As you can see, the irrigation, the Western Irrigation Canal is on the east end of the property, Wheatland west end of the property, Wheatland Trail in the east, North Boundary Road on the south. So the proposed land uses are for mixed development of low, medium, and high residential density, and we're also proposing a neighborhood commercial site with the potential for residential units. So the land, and green never shows up here. My green always looks more yellow than it does green. I'm really sorry, I don't know what that is. But we do have large storm ponds. We have parks and a strip of green along the canal. We have a few pocket parks and linkages throughout to connect. This is the commercial site, and this is the high-density residential. This is high-density residential, and we have some medium-density residential. The area structure plan conforms to regional policy, the provincial land use framework, the Calgary Metropolitan Plan. We do approach the 8 to 10 UPA required in the Calgary Metropolitan Plan. The background work that was completed, we did an environmental assessment, a biophysical assessment, still to do more detailed biophysical, geotechnical, and we have historical clearance. We had a letter regarding traffic impacts, which, as staff said, will be updated to a full transportation impact assessment with the first phase of subdivision. And we have addressed adjacent lands, environmental protection, land use, population, transportation, utility servicing, and development phasing. The parcel is 142.5 gross acres with 135.82 net developable acres. We are proposing 1,067 units in a mix of single-family, duplex, townhouse, and apartment-style units. The basic density is just below 8 at 7.87. However, there is a potential bonus density of 36 residential units on the upper levels of the commercial site, and there's also the potential for the use of the not yet adopted R1S zoning that would allow 32-foot lots, which would increase the density as well. Based on the base number of units, the proposed population would be 27, just over almost 2,800 people. So as I said, the open space, we've got that incorporated into the storm pond strategy. There's a lot of linear paths for connectivity, park space in the form of pocket parks, access to the regional pathway, and we do meet the 10% required dedication. I know it's yellow, but here's the green, here's the open space network. And we have provided connectivity, and the hope is that we've generated variety in housing forms, and we've allowed for pedestrian access for people to walk to and from the commercial area to service this neighborhood, and not always get in on cars. Sustainable development would like us to walk a lot more, but I don't think sustainable development has our winters, but nevertheless, we provided connectivity. So with the servicing, this is similar to some of the other area structure plans that you have seen recently, Lakewood Meadows and Grandview Gardens, in that there is interim servicing for the first 100 units. This will contribute financially to the long-term servicing solutions. Future phases cannot be developed until there is future phases cannot be developed until there is final sewer trunk line and water line constructed here. We have provided road widening for North Boundary Road, and the road widening for the Wheatland Trail was already provided. Servicing, I mean, basically it's going to connect into all the town services. It will have, as with the others, the same situation for sewer, in that it will be collected and held at a point for no more than 24 hours and off-peak discharged into the current system. Stormwater management, we have a couple of large ponds, because again, we don't have a regional solution as yet. So we do have some evaporation ponds until the full town regional stormwater management or water solution is available. We're also using the town's policies for aeration, low impact development, reuse of stormwater for irrigation. The regional pathway is on the North Boundary Road and on Wheatland Trail. So the timing and phasing, the overall development is divided into 9 phases. Phase 1 includes primarily single-family, low-density development and the first major storm pond. Phase 2 will include multifamily, high-density development, and Phase 3 includes the commercial site. So it'll just be a general progression of development throughout the project.
Can I ask one question here? I don't forget the pathways, and one of the things that we're really emphasizing in the community is that we'll be connecting pathways. And I didn't quite figure out, and Councillor Peel and many of them discussed that we want to have connecting pathways from the other subdivisions. I don't exactly understand how you're going to do it there.
Well, we do have a barrier, of course, on the west side with the irrigation canal. On the south side, we connect to the regional pathway, and on the east side, we connect to the regional pathway, which then connects to other communities. We have also made allowances for future for connection to the north, although that's still in Wheatland County. Should it ever be annexed or developed, there's not only a road access, but there's also a trail access in the northwest corner as well.
But the regional pathway to the south, I don't even know, is there one? Is it connected interference, tell me?
Well, it will follow it'll follow Wheatland Trail.
It stops near Hillview, right? It ends right at the entrance of the Hillview.
But the way, is that where the entrance, is that Hillview there, what the yellow?
Well, this
I don't quite follow it.
This is Hillview, but the actual path stops at the entrance into Hillview. So there is a gap right now.
But there is room to build.
That's all right, okay. Yeah. All right, thank you.
And so the first phase is this area with the large storm pond, the entrance off of Boundary Road, and this single family development here. There will be 2 entrances, one off North Boundary and one off Wheatland Trail. Those will be the primary entrances into the community. So in summary, we believe that the area structure plan provides long-term guidance for the development of the land, that it meets all the requirements of the town of Strathmore, that additional detailed studies will continue with the subdivision phase of the project, that land use redesignation will occur as the phases proceed, and no development will proceed without adequate servicing solutions. And so tonight we're respectfully requesting third and final reading of this area structure plan.
Just a couple of quick questions. One, will we see pathways at the subdivision level? Will we be able to see pathways right inside North Hill Heights at that
Yes,
stage?
that's when pathways will be
Okay.
detailed and winds will be confirmed and that sort of thing at subdivision.
Okay, second question, I read your documentation, and I read the part about the Anglican Church being in the southeast corner. When would we find out, or when would you guys know whether or not they need access from Wheatland Trail, or if it's going to be their property, or what they're doing?
Well, we do have a policy in here that say that they could have interim access through the high-density residential site, but they're a bit boxed in, and
I can answer more than that. I've had discussions with the pastor a couple of times. They would like to trade land to go to build in another place, but they don't want to sell that land because of the owners approach them for that.
Well, they don't, do they want to be in your subdivision or somewhere else?
I don't think that it's critical. They would like to, if they give this land up, they want land to build on somewhere.
Okay.
Other questions by council?
Your worship, there's a comment here from the Golden Hills School Board, so I guess this is to planner more than anyone, in regards to the lack of space for potential schooling. Has that issue been addressed at all as to where we're going to be seeking, yes?
I've had several meetings with Golden Hill, with the superintendent of schools, secretary treasurer. It's really tough trying to find a site for a school. An elementary school is minimum 12 acres, junior high 15, and high school is closer to 20 acres. To say to these people, even if it was, but they don't need an elementary now, but junior high, we're going to take 15 acres up there. It makes it almost impossible. We're trying to find a spot where we can take maybe 7 acres from one, 7 from another. So we're in lots of discussions with them. They've been very cooperative.
Thank you.
The question, Councilor Bill,
As you know, I've been opposed to smaller lots since they started getting smaller. We're now going to almost 40% smaller than what they started at. I guess my question is going to be, does that mean that the people of this town are going to start seeing 40% less in the way of buying a lot?
No. It won't be 40%, but there will be savings. It's based on per front foot, your cost, and if you picture your streets being built, it's built, if it's 32 feet, and that's what your cost is of the roads, pipes, and all of that. Your service to the lot is the same, your power service, all of those are the same. So it doesn't come down proportionally, but it will come down on the price of the lot.
the question I have is that we had discussed at one time, I know that this is a great concern of everybody's, is location for a fire hall there.
We've allocated.
There is a location
I
over the
missed
fire
that.
hall,
Sorry.
which is, I'm sorry, I didn't mention it, it's here. And access will be provided through the multi-lot. It could also be emergent. It could be right in, right out as well on the North Boundary Road. There are many situations where fire halls have a set of lights just for when the fire truck is leaving for an emergency. So there has been a site allocated there. It's just over an acre, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure that. Any other questions, Councilor Barkey?
Your Worship, through the chair to Pat, I'm not so much opposed to the smaller lot sizes as I am with the parking problems that comes with it. Deer Park and Red Deer, when they developed that one 7-8 years ago, that was a parking nightmare out there. Any suggestions how you're going to work with that?
Well, I mean, the only thing I can say is that the road widths are the same, so there still will be on-street parking, and under the bylaw, every new lot still has to provide 2 parking spaces on the property. And we also, for some of the smaller lots that we've got proposed here, we've also proposed rear lane access. So there's a number of different ways we're trying to mitigate that.
Thank you.
Any questions from council? Not, delegations in favor that would like to speak? Not, delegations opposed? Not, there's no more questions from council. further comments from planning? None? No questions from council, like the motion
I
for,
would move that the public hearing be adjourned.
you all heard the motion, all in favor? Carried.
Close.
Pardon me?
We want to close.
Close, that's what I said, didn't I? I'm sorry. Oh, did I say adjourned? I apologize. Close. My mistake. Any additions to the agenda, or deletions to the agenda?
Nothing, your worship.
Councilor Rocky?
I have nothing, your worship.
Councilor Hamilton?
One, your worship, Citizens of the Month, should I set that ahead to the next council meeting on the 18th?
Okay.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Citizen of the Month will be,
Oh, citizens council.
goes to the 18th of next month, or this month, or this. Councilor Best?
I have nothing.
Councilor Gill?
I have nothing, your worship.
Councilor Randall?
Nothing from you, your worship.
Administration?
On two small items, on 5.1, Citizen of the Month, we can cross that one off.
That's what you just said.
Oh, sorry, I was being spoken to. Okay, I don't think you got the other item though. 8.4, and that pertains to the Wheatland County Inn.
Thank you. Motion for
Your
adoption.
worship, I would move to adopt the agenda as amended.
All in favor? Carried. 4.1, adoption of the June 20th, 2012 administration meeting minutes.
Your worship, I move the council adopt the June 20th, 2012 administrative meeting minutes as presented. I'm trying.
You all heard the motion, all in favor? Carried. 4.2, and I'm not gonna say anything.
Your worship, I move the council adopt the June 20th, 2012 regular council meeting minutes as presented.
All heard the motion, all in favor? Carried. 5.2, Chamber of Commerce, page 17. Chamber, welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council member. On behalf of the Strathmore District Chamber of Commerce board members, I'd like to introduce myself as the present president in the chamber. And we'd like to thank you for this opportunity to present you a proposal for seed money to help us achieve the expansion of the new Chamber of Commerce office. We see the role of the Chamber as contributing with the town of Strathmore in providing a creative and innovative business and tourism center for economic development. The Strathmore Chamber is positioned to take the next step in meeting the needs of promoting and growing the business community, and we believe the opportunity to expand into a new location is very conducive with the town of Strathmore's future growth toward becoming a city. For the actual details, I'm going to turn it over to Lynn, our executive assistant, who's been doing all the legwork, and she can well explain everything. Thank you.
For the past 2 years, the Chamber has experienced a lot of growth. We've been very fortunate to have an office location on 3rd Avenue in the Hilton Plaza. And for the past 9 months, we've actually been able to have a regularly scheduled hours where people can actually, businesses and private citizens can come in and discuss what's happening and that sort of thing. We've been growing very, very well, and in fact, just last week had 4 new members join the chamber. So considering it's the middle of the year, we're feeling really good about that. What has happened now is we have an opportunity to take over the front half of the last bay that's left where Prairie Saddlery used to be. It's Bay A at the Country Lane Mall. Financially, the chamber can afford to pay the rent and do all of that sort of thing. What we don't have are the funds to do the leasehold improvements. It's a beautiful space. We're going to be sharing it with Jason Hale, our MLA, and we've talked to him and he's excited about the better location. We're looking into joining and partnering and becoming an accredited visitor information center. And it's kind of a catch-22. You have to have the space before they will give you any money. So we're asking for a partnership with the town to provide the funds that we will need to do our leasehold improvements. There's also a lot of other opportunities. Bow Valley College has talked to us, Sweet Manitoba Education. So we're really looking for that partnership more and more with the businesses. There are more and more communities coming on board in the town, and in order to make those vital communities, then we need a strong business, and that's where the chamber is going to be along to help.
Any idea what the cost is?
We're renting from Pascal, and he has thrown out a figure of $40,000. What we would like to propose is that if the town would see fit to provide that money, half of it as a partnership with the chamber, and the other half as a non-interest loan, which we would then repay back to the town over a 5-year period at $4,000 a year out of our business license income.
Are we allowed to do that in administration?
Yes, Your Worship.
Councillor?
Your Worship, should I declare myself a conflict of interest, being that I'm on the chamber?
No, you got no monetary gain.
Very good, thank you. Just wanted to clarify that.
Councillor,
Thank you. A couple of questions. First of all, how many members are there currently?
Right, as of today, we have 117 paid members.
And my second question was, did I understand you correctly in saying Mr. Hale will be sharing that space?
Yes, he will.
So do these monies provide him with office space?
There will be an office space for him. He'll be providing the chamber with rent for his space.
Oh, I see. Okay. So it's okay. All right. And are you aware of any other sources of funding for potential visitors centers? That I'm thinking of that group that we became a member of here recently.
yeah.
We haven't actually had an opportunity to do all of the research that we would like to. This is right now the prime commercial real estate space here in town. As far as the chamber and as far as Jason Hale and as far as tourism, we're right on the highway. The signage is perfect. The parking is wonderful. We do know that if we will pursue this to become the accredited tourism information, there will be funds available. They don't tell you what the percentage is. It's a catch-22 though, because we have to have the space before they'll give us any money.
But is that not a hard area to get to? I mean, sure, it's right on the highway, it can be seen, but you still have to come off the highway, go all the way down to the next road down, come over, come back up through the parking lot to get to where you would be.
Yeah, you do. You make, you turn and come down 817 and then make a left-hand turn at the lights there, so.
Any other comments? Councillor Gill?
Well, I just had a question, and I don't know who would have the answer to this. Is there any concern or anything that we need to be worried about as far as sharing the offices with the Wild Rose? Would that send out a message that the Chamber of Commerce is attached to that political party?
We were very concerned about that when we were first approached, and actually, in honesty, we turned it down because we as a chamber, are nonpartisan. However, while Jason is the MLA, he has to serve all members of our community. when the next election comes along, he will not be able to run his campaign from his constituency office. He'll have to have a campaign headquarters.
I would prefer that you just call it an office, never mind who's renting,
Okay,
and end of story.
okay.
Councillor Brimble?
Well, that was my question with Councillor Fuel had. Further to that, what happens 4 years down the road when he doesn't get elected?
We'll offer the space to the new MLA.
And then if they turn it down, how,
We'll find somebody.
then does the chamber end up coming back to the town for more money?
We won't do that, I promise. I swear.
Well,
You can put it in minutes.
The one positive thing about it is I believe it's a very good location.
Yes.
And I would like for the town to be able to help you to make that your home.
Councillor, any comments? I think we need a strict budget and present it to us, and then we can make a decision as to how we're going to go about it, and take it from there. Councillor Peel?
I guess my only other concern, I don't want to sound like I'm really negative, but my other concern is a lot of us have talked about downtown revitalization and helping the downtown businesses, and it just feels like this is one more representative of businesses that is leaving the downtown area to go elsewhere. And I'm really concerned about the number of empty businesses that we have, and then the Chamber of Commerce also vacating that area. That's concerning to me.
You got to remember, there's 2 more places that just filled those empty spots just recently. Councillor Rempel?
Just in response to that, I think there's never been a greater need for visibility of the Chamber of Commerce in this community than there is right now.
Yeah, that's a big factor. Councillor, any comments? So we can present it with a budget and we can bring it back to council? I'm not saying yes or no, I mean, I really like the location too. Yeah.
You obviously need a response to this fairly quickly.
Yes, we do.
We need it by the next meeting, the 18th.
Is that good?
That'll be fine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
5-3, Mr. John Kirby. Are you here? There's no Mr. John Kirby in the audience wanting to speak tonight? Next is number 61, bylaw number 12-11, North Hill Heights Area Structure Plan, page 21. Go ahead.
Further to the discussion that took place at this public hearing earlier tonight, the administration recommends that the document be amended by amending policy 6.1.7 to read, at the time of subdivision, an access easement will be provided along the east side of the canal to the satisfaction of the Western Irrigation District. The WID has confirmed in an email earlier today that they are pleased with this policy and will support it within the document. This plan meets all the legislative requirements of the MGA and for area structure plans. The administration recommends that council provide second reading to bylaw number 12-11 as amended and with amendment to policy 6.17. I can give you that recommendation.
I think we have it here.
You got it?
Yeah. Thank you. Council, you heard the recommendation. I'm looking for motion.
Your Worship, I would move that council provide second reading to bylaw number 12-11 as amended to the policy 6.1.7.
You all heard the motion. Any further discussion? Any questions? None. All in favor? Carried. Looking for a third reading.
I move that council provide third and final reading to bylaw number 12-11 as amended.
You all heard the motion. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Section 2, bylaw number 12-15, traffic bylaw, page 59.
Your
Administration.
Worship, this bylaw committee will
before council on June 20th. We received first and second reading, but we not received unanimous consent. So we're bringing it back and we're asking for a third reading of the bylaw. We are also requesting a textual amendment to the bylaw that will not change the intent of the bylaw. It is simply to, under clause 1601 designated truck routes, we want to amend subsections D and H from the name East Lake Road to Centennial Drive.
Thank you. Looking for motion?
Your worship, I move that council give third and final reading to bylaw 12-15 as amended.
Y'all heard the motion, any discussion?
Your worship, I just want to get this straight now. As far as parking on that road, what's excluded?
This bylaw prohibits heavy vehicles from parking on Centennial Drive.
Okay.
And there is already currently a definition for heavy vehicle. So the intent of the bylaw was for heavy vehicles, not for all traffic.
I guess the next question I would have then would be, do we have any other truck roads, heavy truck roads in town that allow parking on them?
We do have truck routes, but if
That allow parking?
we have actually in our traffic bylaw, it designates highway number 1, Wheatland Trail, West Lake Road, between West Lake Road and Wheatland Trail. Lakeside Boulevard from Highway 1 to 2nd Ave from Wheatland Trail to Lakeside Boulevard, 3rd Avenue from Wheatland Trail to Lakeside Boulevard, East Lake Road, Thomas Drive from East Lake Road to Brent Boulevard, Bayside Place, Brent Boulevard, east from Wheatland Trail to Thomas Drive, Spruce Park Drive, Orchard Park. There's a number of those. But what this bylaw says is you can park on truck routes unless there are no parking signs posted. That's all it says.
Yeah. Councilor Rinkle?
Through the chair to our deputy CEO, I wonder, could you put a copy of the areas that allow for truck parking? Put a copy of that in our boxes, in our mailboxes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And also, is this on our website?
The traffic bylaw?
No, the truck routes?
The truck routes?
Or is that too complicated?
The bylaw is on the website.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it's got, the routes are designated right within the bylaw.
Any further discussion? If not?
I don't want the entire bylaw.
Yep, just the truck
Yes,
routes, yes.
yeah, thank you.
All in favor? Carried. Thank you.
Do we need to amend that text too?
That was included, wasn't it? The motion?
Yes.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no business, new business 8-1 Strathmore Katie Webster, Coastal Regional Award winner. 663.
That's mine, your worship. Let me just find it.
Excuse me.
Your worship, a couple days ago, or a few days ago, on the 29th of June, I attended the Calgary Region Community Board in Calgary, which deals with assisting persons with developmental disabilities, and they are under the auspices of the Alberta Human Services Department. I was there to support one of our residents, Katie Webster, who was nominated for the Community Citizenship Award, which recognizes a community member, a business or organization that has shown leadership in supporting adults and with developmental disabilities to be involved in the community. Young Katie was the successful winner of the nomination. I'd just like to read the comments that were made by the presenter. The individual Katie is a partner in a successful business, Katie's Consignment Boutique, located in Strathmore. She efficiently manages many day-to-day operations and welcomes customers with a beautiful smile. Katie's also on the board of directors of Hope Bridges Society, dedicating several hours each month to the organization, contributing enthusiastically to the discussions and decisions of the board. Katie has shown leadership by working hard to pursue her dreams and create her life path, influencing the community by breaking down barriers and challenging the norm of what a person with a developmental disability can achieve. In both her professional life and as a community volunteer, Katie is an inspirational member of her community. This is quite an accomplishment for this young lady, Your Worship, and I would appreciate if Council could acknowledge her and congratulate her for winning this prestigious award.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Brad, page 82, Brad Bevel, and I'd like to read Brad's background here. Brad Bevel has successfully achieved all of the requirements to achieve his status as a registered professional planner and with the Alberta Professional Planners Institute. This is a great accomplishment and is a great benefit to the town of Strathmore. I would ask Council to recognize and congratulate Brad Bevel on this noteworthy accomplishment.
Speech.
And page 69, Laurie Smith. Laurie Smith has graduated from the Laurentian University with the honors of a bachelor's degree of commerce. Laurie has spent numerous hours on weekends and evenings to complete this program. This is a significant accomplishment and will be of a great benefit to the town. I ask Council to recognize and congratulate Laurie Smith for this noteworthy accomplishment. Not here. 8.4, an amendment to the and you all have the amendment to the minutes. You all read the letter and Council's comments, please. Go ahead, Councilor Best.
Your Worship, the precedent we would be setting by letting this go would be immense. It's been a long time since people have been able to use wells within town limits, and I see no reason to change that. Therefore, I would certainly not be in favor of allowing this to keep going.
Maybe I'll read this publicly. Council has received a letter from the manager of the Wheatland in requesting exemption from bylaw number 12-07 water utility bylaw in order for him to use as well. Any other comments from Council?
I just wanted to ask, Your Worship, is the bylaws already been in place?
Yes.
So he still continued to use well water?
Yes.
In the Wheatland?
Yes.
Okay.
With much frustration to administration. Any comments? I would just recommend that this doesn't need to be a motion in the bylaw that administration handle it accordingly, right? Is this the right procedure? Or
No direction.
No direction? Thank you. Administration, I guess it's just Council Committee reports, page 73, and everybody, starting with Councilor Schultz.
Thank you, Your Worship. There was no meeting held for the Family Center Advisory Board. For Strathmore Wheatland Addiction Team, a meeting was held on June 7th. It was agreed that our program advertising positive message signing pertaining to substance abuse will not take place during the months of July and August. It is the group's intention to seek out a new contract for the service for a 9-month period beginning in October of 2012. The group's focus on the Kids and Drugs program, which is made up of 4 separate sessions and focused on the parents, was deemed successful and appears that another session will take place next year. The group is also working to produce a 2nd edition of the popular pamphlet entitled Nothing to Do in Strathmore Guess Again, and it is hoped that printing and distribution will take place over the summer months. In regards to the SAY, Strathmore Assembly for Youth, year-end meeting was held with the SAY coordinator, Jill McDonald, as well as Mayor Graychuck and myself. It was agreed that there were many positive results of the group's first year, and discussions were had about the direction that the group will be taking next year. For our part, We invited one member of SAY to attend council meetings beginning in September, and in fact confirmed that they will have a designated chair at the press table for that individual. They will be present solely as an observer. As you see, the ARC Development Group, a meeting was held on June 20th. I was unable to attend. A list of summer objectives was drawn up, including legal updates, tours of 2 recreational complexes, final preparation of an information letter to the Minister of Alberta Culture, and further preparation for the upcoming 5-car bingo fundraiser, which is in association with the Strathmore Lions Ag Society and Strathmore Golf Course. And that's my committee reports, Your Worship.
Thank you. Dr. Rocky.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Attended Handy Bus Association meeting on June 25th. Happy to say that the Handy Bus Association is financially sitting well as it has in the last 3 years. For May, we had 556 one-way trips. They discussed new bus purchase to replace bus number 806. Vehicle maintenance on all 6 buses for 6 months, only total $4,500, which we felt was a very low number. Discussions to hold off until 2013 January on this new bus replacement. That bus will be upgraded to have wheelchair access. Cost is approximately $55,000 and will be donated by a donor and could be matched by a grant. The association will be receiving a $10,000 donation from the Elks sometime in the future. We don't know when. We also received a $500 gas credit card from Co-op. Representation from Standard and Rocky Ford resigned from the board due to costs involved. Happy to say the Wheatland County contribution of $15,000 showed up. That was it for that meeting. Last night, attended a short notice called emergency meeting for Wedemza. Was regarding fire and rescue with the Strathmore Rural and Carsland Fire Departments. This goes back to an incident that happened about 5 weeks ago. They're very upset that especially the Carsland people got publicly reprimanded. They're also upset about not being notified about the special meeting on June 12th. And they're upset at Bonanza about in-house political issues concerning those 2 departments, as it's none of Bonanza's business, and we're waiting for AHS to take us over, basically. United Way report, June 7th, I went to 2 meetings here. Megan Dutka, we managed to hold on to as interim chair until we can have elections. We're down to 7 board members as we had some problems where 4 members resigned. We had a lot of discussion how to attract new board members in advertising in the Strathmore Times on the town page. We decided Megan should stay in as interim chair until board members are up to where they should be, then we could have elections in the fall. More discussion took place on how to attract members via magnet signs, websites, town page. Preparations underway for Canada Day, which was a few days ago on a cold drink stand. I understand they made a couple $100 there. We're doing an M&M barbecue, and we're doing a sample thing in November. The last meeting I went to for United Way was June 28th. Basically got told, and Councillor Hamilton, you can correct me if the statement is not quite right, we got told by the Chamber of Commerce rep they will step in if indeed United Way and the town cannot get things settled. They don't want to see United Way lose out in Strathmore and are quite excited and quite willing to take it over. There was some number mentioned of $120,000 a year. I don't know where they got that information from. We had our meetings to distribute funds. We only had $15,000 to work with. As in fact, the MOU has not been signed on the Calgary side, so that money is not available. But we did distribute $15,000 in funds, $5,000 to the Strathmore Youth Club. Step 1 support for 3,000, healthy families for 3,500, and school fuel for 3,500. Hopefully the MOU will get signed at some time this year so we can work with this money in January of 2013 rather than June. Other than that, that was it for my meeting.
Thank you. Councilor Hamlin.
Well, to be brief, Your Honor, or Your Worship, rather. Attended 2 executive meetings of the Chamber of Commerce as the presentation was made tonight. They're dealing with new office space and obviously an increase in membership. We have a big membership drive ongoing. Nothing with COP, just a sidebar to Redemza. We're waiting for Alberta Health Services to make up their mind what they're going to do. Therefore, the contract negotiations are presently at a standstill. No meetings for the Bow River regional waterways. And basically that's my report. I just want to make a little sidebar. We had our Victim Services golf tournament on the 22nd of June, and we raised between $14,000 and $16,000 for victim services in town. The actual figure is going to be, we're having a meeting on July 19th. That's it.
Thank you. Councilor Best.
Your Worship, the Happy Gang, due to health matters, I was not able to attend, but in my stead on short notice, CAO Lyndon Nelson was in attendance. Their next meeting will be held the first Tuesday in September at 1:30 p.m. Community Futures Wild Rose, the annual general meeting and the general meeting were held on June the 21st at 6 p.m. at the Station Restaurant. I was in attendance as well as the town CAO Dwight Stanford. Annual financial audit was reported and was presented to by the auditors for approval by the board. The naming of the board officers was brought forward and accepted. Annual Community Futures AGM was held and was reported on by Bruce Kaufman, our chair. The Alberta Youth Entrepreneur Camp, the camp is being held August the 19th to the 25th at Eagle's Nest Ranch in Cypress Hills. Currently all the spots are filled. Community Futures Wild Rose office in Three Hills will be closing in October. The annual Condo Corp, the annual Condo Corp barbecue will be held on August the 2nd across the street from the Community Futures Wild Rose office. And the 2000-2012 annual performance report was presented and approved for submission to Western Diversification. Their next meeting will be the first Thursday in September. Housing, due to the above-mentioned Community Futures AGM, I was unable to attend. However, upcoming is their resident family barbecue on July the 12th at 5:30, and Councillor Fuel will be giving a report on that meeting. While WFCSS, due to a personal family matter, I was unable to attend that meeting. Their next meeting will be the 4th Wednesday in September at 7 p.m. Names Committee, there was no meeting, in the Audit Committee, there was no meeting, and that's my reports.
Thank you. Councilor Gill.
With the library board, the summer coordinators are in place. They were in place as of June 4th. They have changed some policies, some major ones, I guess. Fines will no longer be capped at $30, and you'll no longer be able to renew items more than twice. Our librarian administrator has given a couple of presentations at Crowther Memorial Junior High School on ebooks. We have a new janitorial company that's been in place. All financial reports were gone over and approved, and we've chosen a company to do the library needs assessment. Wheatland Housing. We discussed the need for roof repairs at Wheatland Lodge. We're in the process of doing that, as well as the eaves trough and drainage system there. We discussed where to move some funds to have the best interest rate return. We went into a very long in-camera session, which I can't go into. We got an update on the housing units, as well as the repairs that need to be made. And as Councillor Best stated, the Lodge barbecue is July 12th at 5:30, replaces the July board meeting. Strathmore and District Agricultural Society. The Strathmore Ag Society accepted the Creekstone bid, and this is very brief. General manager's salary has been approved to raise to $75,000 retroactive from November 1st, paid out till October 31st, 2012. With the youth board, SWAT made a donation of $200 to help the building for use of the building for the Kids and Drugs program. So thank you to SWAT. WFCSS gave us a $4,000 grant, which we're very much appreciative of. We also need to generate more funding through more of our funds through fundraising. Hope to have an upcoming fundraising meeting. We also don't have enough people, and we are looking for board members, as many other committees are as well. In June, we had chef, yoga, mad science, fabulous Fridays. We ran a lunch program. The summer camps have almost started to fill up. And Heritage Days Parade, we will have a float in the parade thanks to a donation from KNS. And on the final note, I'm a little sad about this, but we are losing Kirsten Mundy as she has taken a position with more responsibility and duties within her company, and she'll be in the city of Calgary more. So we're going to really miss her energy, her hard work, her organizational skills, and her sense of humor. So if we could acknowledge Kirsten for her time, maybe give her a round of applause. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the council and the administration and the mayor for all your work with that board. And that's it, sir.
I just have one question, or maybe it's a statement. Are we getting the annual financial statements from the lodge without request?
They did mention it, and I can check again that we can get that to you. I know the county.
We got one of them.
Oh, you did?
We had to beg for them almost.
Okay.
And I would just say that they should be, and it's under the act, I believe, that they must send them to us automatically.
Okay. Do you want them regularly then?
Regularly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will make sure that I mention that.
And yet, I'll ask this other question on another note. Thank you.
The annual general?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Councillor Rempel.
Due to my work commitments in the month of June, I was unable to attend all of my committee meetings.
Okay, thank you.
I could report on economic development.
Yes.
We have 2 large permits. I mentioned the last meeting, the Royal Bank, RCB, $1.4 million. So that's going to be a very nice building. Also, Sagewood, Phase 2, took out their permit for $11 million. Single family is still going relatively slow. There's only 11. But duplex, semi-detached, is over 5 times what it was last year. So our building permits so far this year double last year.
6.
Thank you.
Permit value.
Good, Councillor Rempel.
Question to the Chair, CAO. I'm wondering if the reason for the increase in our multifamily or duplex permits has anything to do with the smaller lot sizes.
Your worship, through John, yes. They're building on 30 foot and 30 foot, tying them together with the garages are touched. So that's why that area is going very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I attended the annual general meeting with Councillor Sobel and administration in about 3 weeks ago, and with the CRP, and they gave us their reports. And also, CEO and I attended the meeting with the committee that is going to handle the distribution and sales of real estate for all the communities in around surrounding Calgary. And I find that very exciting because it's going to be on the website, tied into the Calgary Real Estate Board. It's not set up yet. I'm going to be watching for further information for everybody, but it's going to be not only sold locally with no cost to us, and also regionally and worldwide. And I think that's a really good program for all of us here, that we can market our land and sell our product individually and tell the people of the world what we got, as opposed to what the other communities got surrounding Calgary. So I think that's a real big thing with the CRP. Other than that, that's about all that I can think of. Thank you, and we're looking for a motion for acceptance of the committee reports.
Your Worship, I would move that that council accept the committee reports as presented.
All heard the motion, all in favor? Carried. Questions for the administration and council, anything? Go ahead, Councilor Hamlin.
Just curious, in regards to number 1 highway, is there any consideration, or was there any consideration when the traffic lights were put in the east end of town by Tim Hortons area? Was there advanced warning traffic lights put in, like the flashing yellow? Because you sit there in the council B chambers and watch the semis go through the red lights, and I just wondering if is there any indication that we've either approached transportation to put in an advanced warning, or is that in the plans? Or
Your Worship, I'll have to talk to the Director of Engineering, because he saw a report from Econ Engineering pertaining to all 3 locations.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Bremple.
Through the chair to the CEO and Councilor Hamilton. It has been discussed in the past, and our explanation at that time was that the traffic coming from the west heading east, that there wasn't enough room to have amber flashing lights indicating that that light at the Leroy's intersection is going to change. That was what the Alberta Transportation had told us before. I don't know if you recall.
Previously.
Yes, yes. No, I can't see that changing.
But we haven't seen the new study yet.
Councilor Field.
Question through the chair to the CAO. The 16th Avenue, as part of TransCanada, has flash cameras for stoplights. Is that something that can be considered for that intersection, if that's one where large trucks are flying through?
Can I say something to this? They were actually talking to the Minister of Transportation on that just last week, and he was saying that on any provincial or national highway that's not the case, and the reason why it's allowed on 16th Avenue is because that's actually part of Calgary. But he won't even entertain it, even for the highway going to Fort McMurray, he won't entertain a lot of that.
So even though it goes through our town limits, and interesting.
Isn't there flashing lights on the eastbound coming in from the east?
From the east, yes, there is.
Am I correct on that? Or?
Yes.
But
Past Walmart.
Yeah.
coming westbound?
Yes.
But there's nothing going eastbound? And you're saying, everybody's saying they can't be put in, or I don't know?
Because of the speed limit, it's not required, because there's enough advance warning from the time the light changes from green to amber for any vehicle that travel speed limit to come to a complete stop.
So they're choosing not to.
Or are they going too fast?
Or they're going too fast.
Thank you. No other further comments?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Carried.